Yo, what is good? Welcome to Bootcamp Day 4. And today I'm going to teach you exactly what should you sell, your offer, etc. How do you actually make money with this? Because this is, I got to be honest, this is probably one of the most important episodes that's going to be on this entire bootcamp. So stay tuned because this is truly something that I wish I would have seen when I started. So let me show you exactly step by step. And here's just some quick little profits. Obviously, first of all, I want to make something clear. We're not focusing on making money from AdSense, sponsorships, etc., etc. We're not going to do what everybody else is trying to do, okay? This is why most personal brands stay broke, because they're trying to do this. They are trying to make money from AdSense. They're chasing views, but we are essentially business owners, okay? We want to sell that information, you see? We focus on providing education through programs like courses, mentorships, masterminds, whatever. You can sell almost anything in a program, okay? And this is what makes the most money. This is just truly honest. I'm just being truly freaking honest with you, okay? I don't want you to go on a wrong path. You're trying to make only money from AdSense, okay? And this is how they all print money, like a lot of fucking money. There are gurus, online coaches who are making 5 million, 1 million per month, okay? I'm not at that level yet, but just wait. And you probably may notice some faces here and there, okay? These guys, they all sell info. They all sell info for a living. But the only problem that most of these coaches, they tell you to go left while they go right, meaning that they teach you to do some money-making method while they actually sell courses and mentorships. But there's nothing wrong with that, okay? If you actually know what you're doing. That's why to make this actually work, you need to be the expert, like I taught you in the previous episode. You need to position yourself as the expert, okay? But regardless, these guys make most of their money selling education. That's just how it goes, okay? That's the name of the game. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Join the game, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how. So my first ever offer, the thing that I was selling, was a low ticket $50 per month per client Discord access, okay? I was pretty much, this was back in the day when I was teaching people how to trade. I had a trading personal brand, right? I was live trading, literally like live trading. I think I mentioned this in the first episode. I was live trading in the Discord with my students. I had like 30 clients in. So obviously that made me around 1.5K, sometimes 2K per month. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing like crazy, but it was good at the time because there was some extra income, okay? But not the greatest results, okay? And back in the day, before, this is why I'm recording this video, because now you're probably going to learn something from this. I wish I would have seen this, because back in the day, I thought that selling low tickets is the only option. But listen, I have a question for you. Do you want to sell cheap to everyone? Or do you want to sell expensive to a select few? So let's say this is you right here, and you have a personal brand where you teach people about AI. Okay, you teach people about AI in general, like how to use Claude. The next day you teach them about ChatGPT. Then you teach them about Hermes, and then you teach them about this and that. Then you honestly are probably going to get some views because you are more in a broader way. AI is hot right now. You're getting a lot of views, especially if you're good at marketing. The reason why you should sell low ticket at that point, I mean, you could you could sell high ticket, okay? But the reason why you should sell low ticket at that point, in my opinion, is because let's say if you sell a $50 per month school community access, you could make a lot of freaking money because people that's not that expensive, and you get a lot of views. If you're good at marketing, you get a lot of views, and that's a broad content. Remember in the second episode when I mentioned that you need to position yourself as the authority, as the trader guy or as the e-com guy. Okay, but if you just teach about AI in general, you're obviously the AI guy, but you are not teaching a specific pain point, a specific problem. Like, we help businesses use AI to reduce churn. I don't know if you know what that even means, but essentially they're not solving a specific pain point at this point, okay? Like if you just teach AI in general. That's why you should sell low ticket, because it's accessible, but it doesn't have as crazy perceived value when you're not solving a specific pain point. Like if you're a trading guy, you teach people how to go from unprofitable to profitable. That's a specific pain point. That's a huge thing. But if you're just this guy, you'll get a lot of views, but there's a trade-off. It's hard to sell high ticket. Listen, bro, the other day I was watching videos on YouTube about the Hermes agent. That's like AI agent. It's very good. But I was essentially watching his videos, this guy's videos. And I was like, okay, I'm learning about this guy, about this Hermes agent, etc., etc. And then I go to his description just to check, like, is he making money with info? Because I'm just curious what these other personal brands are doing. And essentially, this guy just teaches about AI in general. If you go to his channel right now, yeah, essentially AI in general, but mostly focused on Claude and Hermes. Okay, some Google stuff as well, but essentially just AI in general. Okay, teaching, but more in depth though. More in depth. This guy is a skilled person. He knows what he's doing. He knows his AI shit. So if I now go here to his community, what he's selling, right here, go to his site. As you can see, school.com. Check this shit out. 3.1 thousand people in. And if I now go to the calculator, 1,100 people times $87 per month. This guy is making $260,000 per month. And it's most likely profit, to be honest. Because like usually when you sell info, it's usually most of the times profit. Okay, but you get the point. This guy was teaching just some AI, kind of basic stuff, but kind of more in depth. But he's just posting AI. He's not teaching about even money making methods, but he's still banking a lot with low ticket. So that's what I mean. Like, you have to be specific. You have to be smart when choosing should you sell high ticket or low ticket. But if you now go to a fucking some other guy who teaches more niche about like drop shipping, like how to make more money with ads, how to scale with ads and make 50K per month, then that's more in depth, and that should be, and that's kind of more niche as well. So that should be high ticket. Okay, so we have to be clever with this. Remember, we have to be clever with this. Let's say you are the guy who teaches more niche stuff. You get less views, but you're more niche. You get more buying. You get more customers that have more money. Okay, so then you obviously should sell high ticket, like 3 to 5K or even 10K per client. And you can also turn this into a monthly if it's like if it's like super valuable stuff, like okay, you have some one-on-one calls in there, then this could be monthly. Now before I continue, I want you to comment down below your niche, and I'm trying to answer everybody. So I'm gonna tell you exactly, should you sell low or high ticket? Let's be honest, even if you are in a niche market, you should also you can start with low ticket. You know why? Because that gets you client testimonials. Okay, let's say this is a testimonial, and then you can use this testimonial to promote your high ticket stuff in the future. Hey man, let's do the math. Okay, should you sell high or low tickets? Remember, this is all like, it's like yin and yang. There's balance, there's negative and there's positive, right? There's both. Okay, if you sell high tickets, if you are in a niche market, you get less views, but people with more money, etc., etc. If you're in a more broader market, you teach people, you get more views, but it's hard to sell high ticket. You get the point, and etc. With this as well, there's the yin and yang, there's the negative and the positive. So, but regardless, let's continue. So low ticket, to make $10,000 per month, $50 times 200 clients. 200 clients. No. Hey, listen. Yes, if you're posting in a more broader way, you get more views. You could potentially get 200 clients, but 200 clients is quite a lot. But if you are in a very niche market, it's very hard. But if you're in a more broader way, broader market, broader niche, and you're good at marketing, then it's pretty achievable. Okay, and I recommend, if you want to sell low ticket, you should sell $100 minimum per month. Okay, I recommend that. But 10K, you need 200 clients, and with high tickets, this is what I love about high ticket. 2 clients, 5K. Two clients paying you 5K per month, that's 10K. Okay, or 4 clients, let's say this is 4 clients paying you 2.5K. What is it? That's already 10K, right? Or let's say you have some expenses, then obviously you're gonna minus that, this and that, do some calculations. But usually it's profits with this info shit when you sell info, okay? But you do the math, and then again, comment it down below your niche, then I can make sure that you choose the right one. Okay, but obviously there's nothing bad about selling low ticket in the beginning, even if you're in a niche market, because that gets you easy testimonials. Oh, but about that, I forgot to say, bro. The big minus about low ticket is that usually these people, they're kind of weak-minded. The people who buy from you, they're kind of weak-minded. They're kind of they have this scarcity mode mindset on. They're scared and they're not gonna take it as seriously. Some people may take, but with high tickets, these guys are most likely gonna give you. They're most likely gonna give you a testimonial. They're gonna succeed if you actually have a good fucking offer, because they're the ones who actually join the calls. They're the ones who actually commit and take action, because they just paid you 5 to 10K. Obviously, they want to take the shit seriously. In my opinion, I like high ticket. That's from my experience. But you can make a lot of money with this one if you do it the right way. If you want to sell low ticket, I recommend you to go to school.com, just like the guy who I showed previously. And I recommend selling a minimum $49 and max $200 to $250 per month community/course access. And you can add some group calls with everyone there, maybe weekly, monthly. But listen, there are people pulling in high numbers, such as the guy before. Some people are making millions per month. Andrew Tate sells low ticket access to his course or whatever it was. He makes 5 to 10 million per month. But again, Andrew Tate, just like I mentioned before, you need to be more broad. Andrew Tate talks about money in general, okay? Money making methods, not just one specific method, not just one specific like dropshipping or trading or info. He teaches about everything. He posts money motivation videos. He's in a broader market, okay? And he's a great marketer. That's why he's able to make a lot of money. That's why he can pull it off. But you need a bigger audience, obviously, broader audience, and be good at marketing, right? If you want to sell low ticket. Now, personally, remember when I used to be selling that low ticket? As soon as I switched from low ticket to high ticket, within 7 days, within a month, everything changed, because remember I was making like 1.5K per month, 2K. My old monthly income became my daily income. But obviously, because I want to be as transparent as possible, when I say my daily income, I mean like what I made in a day as soon as I switched from low ticket to high tickets. Obviously, not every single day I got 2K, but eventually I was able to scale, and I started to sell even more high ticket, higher ticket, if that makes sense. But listen, this was my first 2K day ever, because I put my balls on the table and I decided to take the risk of abandoning my low ticket. I know it wasn't as smart, but I just wanted to do it anyways. And my first 2K day, and I think this was like 3 days after launching, or 2 days after launching. And I was like, wow, high tickets is the shit, right? But again, personally for me, I cannot guarantee results that this is going to also happen for you. But if you're in a niche market, you teach about a specific problem, a pain point, then you should do this. Obviously, I already had some testimonials from the low ticket, so remember that one. Okay. So personally, I recommend to sell high ticket. Obviously, I recommend to you to sell a high ticket because it's freaking amazing. You need just a handful of people to make a lot of money per month. To create the mentorship slash coaching program, to sell it for thousands, you need to have value. You need to have value. That's not just value, but perceived value. Okay, when you promote it, when you're in the sales call, in the end, you're going to mention like what's in it. It needs to be valuable, perceived very valuable. So usually in the beginning, I recommend you to have at least one-on-one call per month, or depending how much he pays you, he can pay you more if you add the one-on-one calls, like a lot more. So I recommend one-on-one calls to especially make sure that he gets the best results, your first few clients, okay? Because then it's easy to get the testimonial and you can promote it more. But once you start getting more clients, it's harder to scale. It's hard to go up. You're going to reach a ceiling with that high ticket. So then you should add some group calls as well. Okay, then you can completely delete the one-on-one calls once you start getting like 10 clients, 5 clients. You can add an upgrade. If they want to pay extra 10K or 5K to get one-on-one call or 2 one-on-one calls per month, then they can do that, okay? But you can also add a private community. You can also add access to you through chat, in-depth guidance, a full scaling plan or something like that. And you have to ask yourself, do you want it to be a done for you or done with you service? I recommend done with you, because again, done for you is kind of harder to scale, especially in the long run. Imagine you have 10 to 100 people in, and you're trying to fix everybody's problem. Do it for them. Okay, that's what done for you is all about. But obviously, you can hire some people to do it, but still, it's a headache. Okay, it's a headache. That's what I've heard. I have a friend who also used to do done for you, but he switched to done with you service because it was a headache. Okay, it was a headache, and that's what it is. So you should sell done with you. That's what I recommend personally. Okay, make sure that it's actually perceived valuable. Okay, now you have to understand one thing about selling that program. Your audience buys because they see your mentorship / program as an investment. They're not just gonna buy because I want to learn the education. Yeah. They buy it because they want to get that transformation. They know that if I now pay this guy $5,000, I'm going to transform my life and I'm going to get the money back eventually, or I'm going to get the six pack, or I'm going to get this and that, and I'm not going to waste time on my own. And this is what they think. I'll buy because otherwise I'll waste time figuring it out on my own. That's how it goes. Okay, that's why they buy. They buy because they want to get rid of that pain. Okay, as fast as possible. And I got to be honest as well. You have an advantage if you are in the finance niche. Not always. Like I just showed you about the AI stuff. That guy is not necessarily in the finance niche, but probably there are some business guys watching his content. But usually there is especially if you're trying to sell high ticket, there's an advantage if you're in the finance niche, meaning that you teach people how to make money online, or not even online, but real estate, fucking drop shipping, e-commerce, trading, sales, whatever. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to teach them how to make $1 million. Doesn't even have to be 6 figures. It can be as simple as how to quit your job doing this shit instead. How to start freelancing. How to make $1,000 per month online. Okay, it can be as simple as that. But it's just how it goes, okay? When you're teaching people about money, making methods, the fact is that it's easier to sell high ticket because people see that as investment, like literally an investment. They pay you now because they know that they're gonna acquire the skill set to get the money back and more. There's gonna be a multiplier. But listen, about investments. If you want to invest in yourself, in your business, you want to succeed fast, you want to reduce the time it takes to succeed and make a lot of money with info, then book a free call to get coached by me, right? You want to be the next success story. If you obviously want to speed up the process, okay? Link is in the description. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.